Action!
Frozen is an episode that takes us back up to the Antarctic. Following these episodes, Solitudes, a group from the SGC, a group of civilian scientists actually, were posted above where we found the Stargate and a frozen Jaffa. Briefly, what happens is that we start out with a conversation about the fact that this project may be being shut down. And in come two scientists that have been out on the ice saying, hey, guess what? We found something else, which then brings SG-1 up to the Arctic. One of the reasons that they're there is because what they found may be something that has to do with the ancients. So up comes SG-1. As we get there, they find that the scientists have pulled whatever it is out of the ice, and the ice block is sitting in the lab. We thaw the ice, and there's a woman in there, and she's alive.
I got a cortical response. Sam, I need your help. Let's go.
What's going on?
Electroencephalogram. It measures brainwave activity.
We're installing copious amounts of refrigeration supplied by a local company, the same company we used 5 years ago when we did the episode in the underground where we've discovered the other Stargate in Antarctica. A lot smaller building. This building is about a third the cubic area, so we've got the same amount of refrigeration in it. Hopefully we can bring the temperature down here to about -5.
You might want to leave your coats on. We're keeping the quarantine lab below freezing to maintain the specimen.
It seemed so easy when I wrote it.
Well, we have to turn the refrigeration off when we're rolling, of course, because of the noise, interior noise here, and just try and keep the doors closed, keep the temperature down as much as we can, keep the outside air from coming in, especially on a day like this when it's like summer conditions outside.
How's the cold working for you, Rick?
The what?
How's the cold working for
My
you
cold?
in the
Oh,
studio?
I mean this cold. The cold that you've tried to make here? Please. Minnesota boy, born and bred. That storm is headed our way. The day I was born, it was 49 below zero. Swell the violins. Thank you. So this is nothing. I'm getting nothing out of here.
Sweet.
It's hot, I'm sweating. I'm dying here.
Because snowmobiles are made to run on snow, the ones we're using have plastic skis with carbides on them, so you can run them on cement, doesn't hurt anything. They're propelled by a rubber track. So you can run them on this type of floor on cement or anything, but you can't steer them very well. So we're putting inline roller skate wheels inside the skis so that you won't see them on camera, but you'll be able to run them and steer them on the floor.
He ducked when he went out.
The cold help at all when you're doing this kind of stuff?
Absolutely. I mean, the probably the most difficult thing would be playing cold when you're boiling hot, you know, especially in all the clothes we have to wear. But yeah, it definitely helps. The more realism that you can get, the better.
At one point, we had to make our frozen woman. We had to put her into an ice block. And we went over and over and over on how we were going to do this. And finally we decided, okay, we're going to put her into a block that looks like ice. We actually had to put Anna into a block that was acrylic. We didn't use an ice block for her. Because acrylic has to be pre-cut, what we ended up doing was molding a head cast for her.
See you on the other side.
This is a really long process to mold a head cast for somebody, and it's really uncomfortable for the actor. Imagine being claustrophobic and having this pink goo poured all over your head, and they let it sort of seep down across your face so that it folds into all the curves. And then they pour more and more and more until you've got this big pink plastic or plaster thing on your face and on your head. The reason all this had to happen, believe it or not, was to put her, to mold her face and part of her body into the acrylic, and to get a perfect fit. The reason it had to be fitted as perfectly as it did was because when we do the reveal, when we lift back the clothing over her face, it has to look like she's still partly frozen in this thing. And I've done shows before where you try and put people into ice and it just doesn't work. It doesn't look real.
She is remarkably preserved.
We're showing you some scenes that'll probably never make it to air.
The Antarctic plate wasn't covered by a glacier back then. It wasn't even at the South Pole.
Well, the gate didn't necessarily originate there. It could have been moved from another planet at any point in time, but that's what we need to try and determine.
How?
It's not that hard. Jesus.
Oh, you've read all the reports, Major. If this latest lead turns out to be...
It's something.
I think it works. I mean, you want to use that one? Or?
Short and sweet, gets right to the end of the T's.
Exactly, yeah.
Let's cut it in.
I think that works, okay.
They want to thaw it out.
Her. We think it's a her, sir.
Apparently it has mood swings, sir.
We don't want to risk damage to the specimen.
Yeah, I think we better go back to the other line.
We think it's a her, sir.
It has a vagina, General. We're scheduled after the vagina monologues, and they're not going to let us say the word vagina. Anything else we could use to indicate the female anatomy? Well, to be honest with you, I'm not quite sure I understand it. It's something to do with human evolution. They want to thaw it out.
I don't think anybody will ever see it except in the DVD.
When do you want to schedule
The special director's cut version.
Yeah. We are behind the scenes with Richard Dean Anderson.
No, I was going to. I just didn't know if they wanted to roll
We'd be
the
better
chair.
served if you were in
Right,
front of the
not a-
scenes. None of this behind-the-scenes stuff. Well, on a personal note, sir, did you happen to tape The Simpsons last night?
I think you know the chances of that are nil. I don't understand your obsession of yours.
Oh, stab me in the heart, General. Homer, you don't see the genius?
Yes, Jack, I'm sure it's funny to some.
It's my life!
Shooting in the snow again.
Oh, yeah.
Just like in Solitudes.
Just like in Solitude. Same director, same frozen soundstage. Coincidence? I think not. We're in trouble, sir.
Oh, nonsense.
The difference between doing this show and doing Solitudes, of course, is in Solitudes, I was crazed. I was like, I have no idea how to do a television show like this. And we had to deal with a whole bunch of elements. The fact that we were shooting in a glacier and there were no flat floors and things like this. And we shot everything off of cranes and it was just insane. And now I can settle into it and I mean, on this show where you've got 12 people in a room talking and things like that, it comes pretty automatically what you have to do. Now it becomes much more about telling the story and telling it in the most effective way.
Could somebody bottom line this for me?
For the scenes where we're in the dome and the scenes where we first take her into the frozen quarantine room with the frozen block of ice, to have that cold and to be able to see our breath and to have that sense of physicality to it really helped. If we were playing the cold, I don't think it would have read as well.
This door comes up. Osborne comes running in. We run over and find him over here. And then when the guys leave, they go out this way, take off that way. We stay back on Carter. We land on Carter back in here. We don't watch them exit beyond the tunnel.
Colonel, this is Carter.
We found the abandoned cat. We'll continue the search on foot. Visibility is near zero, and I keep losing the satellite lock on the tracker.
Cold must be affecting the active antenna on your sat nav.
We'll keep looking. O'Neill out.
I love working with Amanda and hate working with everybody else. You can't laugh because they'll know it's you shooting it.
Curses, my cover is blown.